Good afternoon, everybody. Just a real quick video response to John the Hut Dweller. I hope I pronounced that correctly. He posed a video response to one of my videos. And he posed the question, why wouldn't the Romans have allowed Jesus' body to be removed after his supposed crucifixion? You talked about a lot of tempered Jewish sects, most notably the Zealots, which Josephus in his Antiquities of the Jews tells us that if anything that they should be feared. They were very rebellious by nature. And you also named the Sicarii, which is actually a term meaning daggermen, because the Sicarii would actually walk around with daggers beneath their robes, and in large crowd gatherings would actually stab those that opposed them, that didn't follow the law as interpreted by them. But regardless, moving on, there are numerous historical sources in Roman literature and outside of Roman literature for that fact, that bodies would not be removed from the crux or cross after a crucifixion. The main reason that the Romans left the bodies up on the crosses was to present a picture for all those that walked by them to say, look, if you act up or you do what these people did, then you're going to be placed upon the cross, and this is what's going to happen to you. It was used as an illustration to prevent others from rebelling. Now, Augustus had good favor with the Israelites. There was no need to crucify anyone. But when we read Julius Caesar's account in his Gallic Wars, he explains how those who opposed his army were crucified and left to hang on the cross. We also have accounts found within Livy's History of Rome, where crucified bodies were kept on the crosses as well. And we even have more descriptive accounts written by Dio Cassius, where he explained that the Appian Way was actually littered with crucified bodies, and that the bodies would decay, be eaten by the birds, and after time, a heap of bones would be left at the base of the crux. Now, whether or not this is true, we can't really know. But when you have multiple sources telling you that this is indeed what happened to those who went against the will of the Roman Empire, look, this is what happens to you. More notably, we have an account in Herodotus's work where he talks about the Beshatun inscription. Now, this for a very long time was thought to be more of this fantasy type urban legend dialogue, but it actually turned out to be true. In Iran and Old Persia, there was a mountain inscription known as the Beshatun inscription, where there was a story inscripted upon the wall of the cave, the side of the cave. This is a huge cave where numerous bodies were impaled, and those bodies were left on top of the stake, and their bodies were left to rot. So not only is it found within Roman culture that the bodies would stay fixated to the crux, but also in civilizations predating the Roman Empire. You've got numerous accounts from different civilizations where they left the bodies hanging on the crux or on a stake in the form of impalement. So I find it highly unlikely, after the high priest brought Jesus to be crucified and tried by Pontius Pilatus, that he would say, okay, you know what? It's okay. We'll just take the body down. You guys can take him, do what you want with him. In my opinion, all that does is set up the gospel account in order to portray the resurrection of Jesus, which in my mind never took place anyway, let alone the problems that we have with the virgin birth and the scientific study of parthenogenesis. But regardless, that's my quick response. I thank you for your response. But, based on the literature that we do have, removing a body from the crux is just something that is not handed down to us or portrayed to us. So, thank you for your time.